Hi Virgo, welcome to 2018. Thank you so much for being here. I'm keeping it really casual this month for the intro, talking a little bit about this Uranus going direct transit. You'll hear me talk about it in the reading as well. All the planets are now whoosh, moving forward, and I think you are going to really feel this like, wow, this feels so good. I haven't felt so good in such a long time. I can focus, my mind is on point, my work is getting done, everything just seems to be just getting done. And that's what Virgo loves, right? When things get done. And during the reading, I also call you guys a dark horse. The dark horse of the zodiac over the next few years, because Saturn transiting in Capricorn, the ruler of your fifth house, house of creation, this gives deep-rooted concentration into your goals. It gives, you may experience some blockages, but once you overcome those blockages, it's like a writer overcoming writer's block, right? And once you can get through it, you can sit down and write the entire book in a week, kind of thing, you know? And I think that you're going to slowly just kind of mull around, you know, be mulling around. You're going to take advantage of all these planets, and you're just going to like stay in the shadows, stay behind the scenes. And over the course of the next few years, you're going to begin to surpass everyone. I think this is the case of the tortoise and the hare for you. Everyone else is going to be going, and you're just going to be the one that slowly but surely wins the race. So it's really an exciting time for you to get all those seeds planted and get all the systems in place and get your mind wrapped around how things are supposed to go, get the dreams outlined and organized, and do that beautiful Virgo Mercury thing. Because if you can do that and you can really hone in your vision, it's very possible that you'll attain that vision a lot sooner than you think. So I will leave you with that. Happy New Year. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in February. Bye. Hello Virgo. Welcome to your January 2018 reading. We had the Queen of Swords pop out. This is the card of Libra, but I see it as being a very Virgo-esque quality as well, because you are also very fair-minded, very focused on making things right and things being good and equal. And you have the same ability to analyze evidence. I think there's a very cool mind for you. A cool mind, not cool heart, but a very cool mind for you in January, where you're just a little detached from, and this is across the board. Everyone is going through this kind of like pulling back, going through what they need to go through before we all come back together again, you know? And you pull back and kind of maybe even retreat into the shadows, not entirely a hermit mode unless the hermit comes out, because you're getting your life on a new track. You are starting to take your endeavors more seriously. And while I know you're a very serious sign, you're putting it to the next level, and you're holding yourself to the next higher set of standards. And for Virgo, that's like a big deal, you know, because you already hold yourself to such high standards anyway. And I think it is through these efforts that you will find this sense of value, because Virgo does have a hard time understanding their worth, right? And people who have watched me for a long time know that I have a hard time with that concept, and what does that mean, right? And how do you assign your own sense of self-worth, where for like a sign like Leo or, you know, even Sagittarius, like they know, and it's just, they don't even need to think twice about it. But I think that's something that Virgo thinks about a lot. And while they're thinking about stuff like that, they can be quite cold and quite cool, quite cutting. And right now you do have a very standoffish vibe. But I think you're going to come into this newfound sense of love and worth that you know, it's going to become more real. It's going to become more a part of your everyday life. And you're going to start to see what other people see when they look at you. Because when we look at ourselves, when Virgo looks at themselves, they don't see what other people see. And as much as they want to be objective, and as much as they want to be like, think that they know, it's more often that they don't give themselves nearly enough credit. Not even close. And the sun, beautiful. The rising sun. The rising sun meaning you have a full day, a full new chapter, that it really is the beginning. And while you may be sitting in the shadows right now, and you may be withdrawn and maybe pulled back, you're about to step out of those shadows and into the spotlight. I think because, you know, you've got Saturn in that 5th house, Capricorn, you guys, I think that you are beginning to, or you are going to, over the course of the next few years, you're going to become this force that cannot be reckoned with. And you're going to outshine many other people in your lives. You may encounter jealousy. You may encounter some people that are trying to hold you back. But you're on an upswing in terms of making your life more meaningful. Okay? And for some of you, that can be in the realm of family and children, right? Because the sun can often be associated with children. It's the card of Leo, you know, the planet of Leo, rather. Leo is the ruler of children. It's also dating and developing relationships, having good relationships that may turn into marriage. It is taking business endeavors and entrepreneurial ideas to the next level and making them concrete, making them real. Beautiful 4 of Cups, emotional maturity and detachment. See, Queen of Cups, 4 of Cups, I'm sorry, Queen of Swords, 4 of Cups. Not becoming so emotionally invested in outcomes or in offers, but rather you have an idea of what you want in your life, and there is no stopping you toward going to get that. And while this might not be the most active card, guys, it is a card that signifies being sure. And if you're not sure, you're not going to make stupid decisions. In love, this means you're not just going to date just anybody. Saturn, 5th house, dating. You're not going to just date anybody. You're only going to date those people that actually make sense. Those people that you could actually build a life with. Because other than that, it's a total waste of time. Now, all of you have different values. All of you have different ideas of what love is. So that's going to vary for each of you what that means or how you go about doing that. But at the end of the day, you're on this mission that a lot of people, we're all on a mission right now, but when it comes to Virgo, it's going to happen for you. It just is. It's going to happen for you. So there is no idea, there is no dream, there is no nothing so big or so large that it is unattainable. 5 of Pentacles, again, that isolation. You know, there could be some financial restrictions, but I more see this in terms of, like, your energy is scarce. And you're not just going to give it to just anybody. There's discerning qualities here and discriminating qualities here that lend itself to saying, I'm not going to just do this for just anybody. I'm going to like say no to stuff. I'm going to start saying no because I only want to dedicate my time, because life is so short and it goes by so quickly, that I only want to dedicate my time and my talent to things that are going to help me or that help me contribute in some positive way. Your energy is scarce. There is scarcity, and you're dealing with scarcity right now. And so you're discriminating. Okay, good. Because, Virgo can be a self-sacrificing sign. It can be too service-oriented. It can work too hard. And if that cause isn't benefiting you and your life and your relationships and your friendships and your family and your financial situation, then it's not good and it's not healthy. But here you are restructuring your life so that you participate in healthy activities that are worth for growing. Page of Pentacles reversed. Let me pull out one more to kind of complement that. Hold on. See, I think right now you are... Hold on, let me think for a second. Pisces, Aries, yeah. So right now, you may be feeling, and Temperance, beautiful. You may feel like things just kind of aren't coming in, Page of Pentacles reverse, or that there are opportunities or things that kind of feel on hold. And you may be feeling restricted in terms of what you can actually do and what maneuvers you can make right now, because there's something that's dependent upon something coming in and it seems to be held up or blocked. But that blockage, okay, and for many of you this could be money, right? Five of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles reverse. It could be financial restrictions. Those restrictions are set in place so that you can get aligned, so that your head and your heart can be in the same place, so you know what is needed to do, so you know what actions need to take, so that your actions are not a waste of energy, okay, so that they can actually beget results and you actually can have some kind of positive outcome. Temperance is in moderation, right? So it's kind of, you're kind of under an energy where it's self-moderating, and it's going to give you an influx when you need the influx, and it's going to restrict when you need the restriction. So you can't do it all at once, even if you wanted to. You can't force the sun to go from sunrise to midday like that. You actually have to wait for it to climb to midday. So I think that's kind of, that concept of you're not going to be able to force things no matter how hard you work and no matter how hard you dedicate, and no matter how hard you dream, right? You can't force that energy to just be there. And so you, being a mutable sign, are going to have to put that flexibility to work, that adaptability to work. And the universe is going to force you to keep it moderate. There are no extremes happening here, right? So it seems to be just kind of, again, Four of Cups, not being emotionally connected to an outcome or being emotionally just dependent upon an outcome, but rather more a spectator of your own life, more so an innocent observer, and whatever shall be, shall be. And that's fine. Okay? In love, for those of you who are interested in romantic stuff, in love, maybe someone isn't coming in. Maybe someone isn't giving you what you want or what you're hoping for, but you're not getting all worked up about it. So you're going to be dating a little bit more, and that's fine and that's good. And you do want that quote unquote perfect person, even though I know that doesn't exist, but you do want that. But you also know that that's going to take time, and that's okay. You're going to do it right this time. 1 year older, another year older, another year wiser. And the moon, sun and the moon. This is the question mark of the tarot, is what I always like to say. Because it is just kind of where things are sort of hung up, and you are at the mercy of the currents, the undercurrents, the emotional states of other people. And you seem to have this just compassion toward others and lack of judgment, which Virgo can be, is known and stereotyped as being critical and judgmental, and we certainly can be. But we also know that those judgments and criticisms come from our own sense of wanting to be perfect, and that can often be projected onto other people. And I think we've learned that about ourselves and learned how to regulate that, right? Moderation, learned how to regulate that within ourselves. We have come in contact with some dark parts of ourselves this year too, just like everybody else. And so we are more careful with those things, and we are more open-minded about the mental and emotional states of other people. And so if other people are not ready, then there's nothing you can do. And so we just move on, and there's no sense of wanting to force change. And we seem to be more in tune, I believe, this month with what others are going through, and being more empathic as well as compassionate. This is a card that lends itself to dreams and illusions, and with the sun here, I feel that there's the blocking, or like the blasting out of the shadows, right? And you may have heard me describe, the reason why I wanted the dark shadows here, because what's happening is we are blasting out the shadows. We are blasting out the darkness, because we have come to an understanding of what that is. And great, so now we know what it is, but we don't have to wallow, and we don't have to fester there. And so we are kind of emerging. We're allowing the sun to rise, knowing full well that those shadows exist, that subconscious stuff exists, but we don't have to let it control or consume our lives and consume our relationships, or to determine the outcome of our relationships, or whatever. So I think there's a lot of open-mindedness for us this month, okay? Yes, this one really wants to come to a Pentacles reversed, yeah. Because we're reducing our loads. We're making our lives less complicated. We're not trying so hard to impress people. We're not trying to do anything that doesn't serve, It's just like we get who we are now. And with our relationships, we're not trying to please. Again, like I said, we're not over-giving. We're not going to be like so bogged down by the responsibilities and the things that we perceive to be our obligation. Like, no. Like, I do sense that there's this part of you that's telling yourself, okay, Virgo, you just need to just chill out, and to not be so hypercritical, and just focus on what you can control, and that's it. kind of, are you putting yourself through your own 12-step program? You know, like, are you putting yourself through, you know, Warriors Anonymous or whatever, you know, where you just are treating yourself with some grace? I think so. You got in touch with your belief systems this year, you know, or the past few years. You got in touch with where you came from and where belief systems were. And I think some of you really shattered a lot of the ones that don't serve anymore. And you're starting to rebuild new ones, but you're going into it quite cautiously. I think people need to really watch out for you. Like, watch out. Virgo's coming. You're like the dark horse of the zodiac right now with this Capricorn Saturn transit. And also Jupiter and Scorpio. You know, that's like your house of communication and the house of connections and networking and your community, your neighborhoods. I really think that you have this boom to you. So not only are you creating with purpose and force, but you're speaking with purpose and force as well. And you're becoming more spiritual and more influential with Jupiter there. And King of Wands. Well, there seems to be someone in your life. Okay. Again, backs turned. I had this same kind of situation in the Leo reading that I just did. And I think that there's like this independence of two people that come together with common goals and common interests. You have each other's backs, and yet you're still doing your own thing. And there is no control of the other person. You are just in your own worlds. So for those of you in relationships, and this represents your significant other, they have their own dreams and their own ambitions too, like I've just been saying. And so they're just going to go do their thing. You're just going to go do yours. And weirdly, I think it's going to really bring you together. And I love a Queen of Swords, King of Wands match, you know, because they ignite one another, they inspire one another, they stimulate and enthuse one another, and they can brainstorm and talk and be creative, and then they each go out and do it. And there's no reliance upon the other person to do it for them. This is power couple. I said that same in Leo. So maybe some of you do have a Leo in your life, or maybe some of you do have a partner, or your eye on someone, or this idea of someone that is without a doubt the one person that you respect and admire and you can count on 100% of the time, but that doesn't suffocate you. Because Virgo, you can't do codependent relationships, right? Like, you just can't handle that. That is not your scene at all. And so here you are attracting that person that is everything you were hoping for defined. And I know that sounds a little altruistic, a little idyllic, but that's okay. It's okay for Virgo to dream once in a while and to get themselves out of reality and to shoot for the stars. You know, it's okay for you to get a little bit magical with what it is you want in your life, because I really think that it's there for you. I really, really do. And I don't, even though they're going in opposite directions, I don't see anyone leaving, because the King of Wands in the upright position is someone who is incredibly stable, who is incredibly loyal as well. Nine of Cups reversed. And this lends itself to what I was talking to in the beginning, that sense of self-worth, that sense of value of what you bring to the table. your experiences the past couple years, that's a whole bunch of cards. I'm not going to pull all of them, but I'll pull the next two. Let's just take them all because they all fell out, obviously purposefully. The Empress, 10 of Wands. But this is, you know, like I was saying, to give yourself credit for what you went through, because there's a lot to be proud of. There's a lot that you've created to be proud of, and to be, you know, you can be braggy about it. It's okay. No one's going to think you're actually bragging. You don't have to be so modest all the time. The Empress, the creative, the creation, you know, this is a card that represents Venus. And I think a lot of you are going to get in contact or get in touch with your true values. And we also pulled out the Hierophant, you know, which is those institutions, family, love, relationships, marriage, school, all different types of institutions, and your ability to create within them and to use and leverage them for your benefit. 10 of Wands indicates, you know, work, and, you know, but there's always an end product. It's not for nothing, you know, to haul these bamboo sticks, to use them, to take the time and the energy and the effort to prop them up and tie them together and whatever, you know, it's not for nothing. It's because you're building something. You're at the beginning stages of building something quite important, and something that's going to impact a lot of people. It's not just only for you, right? It's that ripple effect. Yes, it may seem small, but it is going to filter out. And I think one of the reasons why the universe is moderating you so much, 5 of Pentacles and Temperance, and why it's like pulling you back and not providing the energy all at once, I really think the reason for that is because you would just kill yourself doing it all at once. And we have this Uranus direct transit happening in your 6th house. That's the house of perfection. It's a house of work. And so yes, you will have this burst, but it's not going to last forever, you know. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So here's that opportunity through which to attain whatever it is you're trying to do, to have the success you want to have the money, to have the relationship. And then the Chariot reversed. I think there's a great deal of vulnerability within you, and there is a fear of failure within you, but that's merely a fear. And with this power of the Queen of Swords and the power of the 4 of Cups, and by the way, the power of the 10 of Cups that I pulled out, you will overrule fear quite easily, because you are now understanding how the universe is fueled by love, not fear. Failure is fueled by fear. So at some point, you're going to have a conversation with yourself that says, do I want to be afraid? Or do I want to be in fear? Or do I want to be in love? And all of you are going to choose this way. I really believe that. And it is through the undercurrent of love that you attain the highest levels of achievement in your life thus far. It's no joke, guys. It's no joke what's happening. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that. I would wish you luck, but you don't need it. But I wish you blessings, and I wish you happiness. And I will see you very soon for your February readings. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.